Good evening. Well, to say the least, it brings tremendous joy to my heart to have all of you with me here tonight. I'm not leaving tomorrow. We have some time left together. But it is such a blessing to be here with you all. I want to thank my brother priest for coming and being present with me this evening. More about all that later. It is a daily mass, so for once in my life I will be brief. But this gospel tonight, I can't help but to sort of project it onto the situation as we have it. You know, as Bishop told me many months ago, 8 months or so ago, that I would be moving. As you can imagine, I've gone through a lot of different emotions as I remember our truly beautiful time together, and especially as it gets closer, really digging down deep inside of my priestly vocation and looking at what our lives are all about. So I'll be celebrating my 14th anniversary here on the 29th, that I was ordained on the Feast of the Sacred Heart of Jesus. And so we're celebrating the Mass of the Sacred Heart for this particular Mass. But the more I've just prayed over it, along with this gospel, the truth of our lives as priests, if in fact we really believe what we believe, which we obviously do, is that faith in Christ and salvation for his people is at the very front and center of our lives. The beautiful part about that part of the vocation is when you're sent into something, which to be an apostle means to be sent. You can see that in the first reading. Paul, in particular, is just constantly on the move. He is running that race. It reminds me of a window in Monsignor Shea's chapel that says, "Run will you have the light of life." That over the course of our ministry, as we serve the people that we're assigned to, obviously in the beginning it's very difficult getting to know everybody and facing the challenges that we show up to. But then as we get into the community, this mistake I think that the priest can make is that this is what it's always going to be. But the truth of the matter is that we were ordained for the salvation of as many possible souls as we can touch, as we can move to a deeper faith. And so our lives should tell you many things, but one thing that it should tell you first and foremost is that Jesus is the front and center of everything. So my brother has said on so many occasions, but it always sticks with me, the reason why we share what we share, the reason why we even know each other, comes down to one person, and that is Jesus. And so Jesus is obviously speaking through the bishops that we serve. And when Jesus decides that it's time for a man to move and to do other things in another community, then as we have trusted Jesus with so many things over the last 14 years, we trust him once again. And whether we see it or not, it doesn't matter, because in his divine providence, he's guiding his kingdom on earth to his kingdom in heaven. And so these final words that he gives us in the gospel today just really resonated with me. You are in anguish now, but I will see you again, and your hearts will rejoice, and no one will take that joy away from you. If we can project just a little second in time ahead, can you imagine how beautiful it is going to be at the resurrection when we're all together again? And we see that the work that we did, the love that we had for each other was not about now. It's about that time. And when we get there, there'll be no moving on. It'll just be us forever.